Goku has a tail in his human and grade 8 form in the original source material. And in the source material, if you cut off his tail, then or if, the sun just comes up, he turns back into his human form. And when his tail is cut off,
right?
Yeah, his humanoid Saiyan form. When his tail is cut off, he just cannot transform back into the Great Ape or Uzaru. There was no tail.
Speaking of tails.
And when we replaced the moon with an eclipse. Go ahead.
My first note was, it's only PG? Lame. I want some nudity. I want to see that dick. No, I don't actually want to see it, but it was, maybe not strangely, but it was definitely absent from this iteration.
You know your tail's gone?
Yeah, I'm not sure where it went to. Guess it got bored. Bye, Master Roshi!
Nerdy.
Nostalgic.
Madly inappropriate.
This is
Nerd Hat.
Nerd hat, I was late. Why am I robot?
Welcome, Nerd Hatters. This is a theory. I'm kidding. This is an evolution. The evolution of Dragon Ball. Welcome.
What exactly evolved? That's a question I had. Like, what did that subtitle even mean?
The paycheck of the scriptwriters.
Did they just have to differentiate it from Dragon Ball? Like,
yeah, I looked that up, actually.
Something?
Yeah, I looked that up. The movie was actually supposed to just be called Dragon Ball, but right before it released, they renamed it Dragon Ball Evolution because the producers and studio and stuff knew they had created a bad movie, and that was
we have to distance this a little bit. From Dragon Ball.
Yeah, which is hilarious that they renamed it simply because they knew they had created a bomb, a bad bomb.
At that point, I mean, it's too late. You got to throw it out in the world and see what it does. Like, it did make its money back and a little bit extra, but not much.
Right. I mean, they could have written it off as a tax write-off, but whatever.
Depends on what number you go with for the budget. Like, if it was actually 30 million or if it was more than 30 million. It made around just under 57 million worldwide, which is not good.
I looked into that too, and I think 30 million might be the more reasonable budget based on
it looks about 30
special
million.
effects.
Yeah. Which they're not terrible. They're not terrible. But, it's not.
They're not good.
It's not, Avengers level special effects, but then, yeah. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
You give it too much credit, but okay.
So, William, why did you choose this film, Dragon Ball Evolution?
Because I hate myself and our viewers.
Just wanted to torture yourself a bit.
Well, I want to do cursed movies because I have a sense of humor. This is just how I see things. Maybe it's not true. Laura might want to do something artistic and innovate. I don't know, artistic, and you might want to do something. We all have different tastes. I can't quite put it down, but we all have different tastes. And so I'm the guy who chooses Super Mario Brothers live action movie. I'm the guy who chooses Slaughterhouse. And unfortunately, I'm the guy who chose Dragon Ball Evolution.
So you watched Dragon Ball as a kid? How young were you when you saw your first episode?
Well, I started watching from Dragon Ball Z, the technical sequel series from episode 1. I watched it all the way up into the Buu Saga, and I didn't watch the rest of the Buu Saga until I was later when I was an adult, or at least I didn't remember the Buu Saga very well, at the very least.
Would this have been like 96 to 2000, kind of that range in terms of how long you watched?
It sounds about right. I mean, I got the golden and silver plastic statues from Burger King and their Happy Meal toys or whatever, Piccolo and Goku and whatever. I can't really remember. It might have come with a trading card.
So was this popular at all in your school back in the day? Did anyone else in your school watch it or get into it?
My friends, I guess.
Okay. Because
I don't know past that.
I don't remember if I'd even
I was not a
heard of
popular
it
kid
in
but
high school. like this, I was. Let me see. When,
popular in the wrong ways.
like obviously when the original Dragon Ball series came out, I would have been a young child. Like, let me think. Was it late 80s, right? Like 88, 89, somewhere in there when it came on TV. Of course, when did it come to the U.S.? I go, is a better question.
I'm not certain. All I really know is that the Dragon Ball fandom didn't explode in America until Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Any
It's the late 90s, mid to late 90s.
Any translations they made of the original series had to be redubbed later.
With the new actors.
Yeah, with better quality actors. There might have been some versions of the original English Dragon Ball where the characters' names were changed. I'm not sure. And I'm not talking about the change from Kuririn to Krillin. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually like, oh my gosh, that is not that correct name. Speaking of which, completely off topic, I prefer Serenity over Usagi for Sailor Moon, but I may be in the minority. But okay, back to topic. My brain just died. We're talking about Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I missed
popularity, right?
I missed the wave. I would have been around, say, 13 when it came to the U.S. when Dragon Ball Z came to. Was it Cartoon Network it came to first?
Yeah, on their I forget Toonami. Yes, on Toonami with that robot.
Yeah, and I didn't have cable that year either. Like we had cable maybe 2 or 3 years out of my life growing up, and I think the final year was like 2000. So by that point, I kind of missed it.
Honestly, it was a miracle we had cable at that time, to be honest.
Oh, yeah?
My dad was really, I was going to say stingy, but frugal. Yeah,
frugal, yes, frugal.
I mean, at the time, that might have been how it felt. But today, the financial crunch is real.
Oh, yeah. Like our parents, because, I mean, just due to inflation, had a lot more money to play around with than we do. Like, wages have not gone up, but costs have. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. That's not why we're here.
We could do an entire podcast episode or separate podcast about that. Yeah.
So, getting back to the film that we're covering, which is Dragon Ball Evolution, not the first live action adaptation, but the first big
Believe
studio.
it or not.
The first big studio live action adaptation.
The first legally licensed one.
Yes. Yeah, you saw that there was a fan film that came out that is now apparently on Prime.
Yeah, it was like originally Dragon Pearl or something, but it's been renamed Dragon Ball. Maybe it finally got licensing. I have no idea. Yeah. They call it the deluxe edition of the film.
Amazon may have made that happen.
I don't know, but
at least it's on Amazon.
And
Prime.
I've seen clips of some other live action Dragon Ball film, which I don't think was that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that one was legally licensed or not, or if that was just another fan creation. But these things were happening in the 80s, 90s when the original manga was popular.
When you first heard about this film, like, were you following Dragon Ball news? How did you first hear about this film? Was it in a TV advertisement? Did you hear about it through the Nerdverse, a magazine?
This was 2009.
Yes. When it released, yes.
I was 2 years into getting back into Ghostbusters at this point, and I was consumed and obsessed with the Ghostbusters, the video game releasing.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I love Dragon Ball, it was just not on my radar. But I learned about it somewhere, somehow, probably over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you right now, I did not go to that theater to see that.
Oh, really?
I
saw the trailer and you're like, nope.
Yes. Well, there was a lot of nopes. I don't really remember it, but everybody was noping on it. So, and I was one of those. It didn't even. I don't have memories of being. Oh, there's a live action Dragon movie. I've got to see that. I have no memories of this. Either I completely didn't know about it until after the fact, or I knew enough to know it was trash, and
maybe
therefore
just early reviews were coming back negative. So when was the first time you saw it?
I don't know. It was years ago.
So maybe a few years after release, like, did you rent it from like Family Video or something?
No, I think I finally saw it on Amazon Prime a few years ago.
Oh wow, so recent maybe.
Yeah, within the recent 5 to 10 years.
Okay. It's also streaming on Tubi at the moment. If you dare to
Dragon
watch
Ball
it.
Evolution?
It is. According to
Wasting all this
IMDb,
money for no reason. I'm kidding.
it's getting ready to leave Prime. So it won't be on Prime much longer.
Wow, we get it just in time.
Just in time. And I couldn't
not
quite
watch
tell.
it for
It
free.
looked like it was definitely in HD, but it might have even been in 4K. I don't know. It looks pretty crisp, just resolution wise.
I agree.
Yeah, I will say, both tonally and just the general feel reminded. As I'm thinking about it here just a minute ago, it reminded me in terms of quality level and special effects and things like that of Smallville.
Yeah.
You know, Smallville's a television, so you have a television budget.
I didn't like Smallville, but Smallville was better.
I liked Smallville. Like, at least the first few seasons I kept up with. I think up through like season 4-ish. Then I stopped watching it for a while, and then I came back in at season 10, kind of as it finished out its run, and Clark finally becomes Superman.
I think the reason I didn't like Smallville is because I actually enjoy the unrealistic, weird costumes of the superhero genre. And
yeah, you don't get many costumes in Smallville.
And
if any.
Smallville was very, I mean, later on in the later seasons, there was like the Society of Justice or something, which is just a society. They brought them in maybe, but.
I think that was another series.
Oh.
Although,
Anyway.
I could be wrong though. So I still have not seen, I think like season.
They didn't have.
I've not seen much, if any, of seasons
Dr. Fate
like
or whatever.
6 through 9.
Gold costumes. Okay.
Mostly saw seasons 1 through 5 and then 10, most of 10, I think.
Okay. Well, anyway.
But yeah, just quality level and like look and feel, because it's around the same time period, reminding me of Smallville. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Superman. We're here to talk about Dragon Ball Evolution. So Will, what's your first note that you took on this?
I had random
on this viewing.
Well, I can do that, or I can just ask you how you felt about this whole film. But anyway, I took a lot of notes. I can just read them all.
What's your
naturally talk about them as it goes along?
What's your very first one? Because
maybe the writers used some aspects of Goku's son Gohan in the Evolution Goku character, because Gohan II attends high school in Dragon Ball Z and falls in love with martial arts classmate, which would be Videl.
So it's like a second coming of Gohan, who is his grandfather in this film?
No, not a second coming of Gohan. Goku and Chi-Chi's son, they named him after Gohan.
I see. Gohan the second. Okay.
He's not called Gohan the second in the manga or anime. I just said that.
He's called Gohan.
I just not to confuse people listening right now, because we're supposed to be reviewing a movie that does not contain this son. I also wrote down Mai and Puar / Oolong seem to be combined. Pilaf and Shu completely absent from film. I did also notice that Mai, and I don't think that her character is ever named in Dragon Ball Evolution, but it appears to be Mai in the manga anime. The Pilaf gang, Mai, Shu, and of course Emperor Pilaf, they're the ones who off screen somehow find Piccolo's rice cooker imprisonment.
The containment, the containment device or whatever,
and release him. And I don't know how or when they did that, but they did. So there is no context whatsoever of how Piccolo was brought back in this movie. But if you know the source material, it's fairly obvious that the Mai character, who seems to be combined with Shu because she's a ninja, when in the original source material, Mai is some sort of Russian soldier or something, German, I don't know. Well, you wouldn't know that unless you actually knew the source material. This movie does not.
Yeah, which I only know a little bit of it. I mean, there's a few.
It glows back.
The few episodes that we watched, because they have the preamble at the beginning where they give you a little bit of background with. Let me get the name right. Uzumaru. Am I saying that right?
Are you talking about the Great Ape form, Uzaru?
Uzaru. Sorry, Uzaru.
Yeah, it's a Japanese
So
In the
was it-
English, we call it Great Ape, which, of course, I'm glad. That's a note on here, too. I'm glad we used the Japanese names because they just sounded more mysterious.
So yeah, he shows up in the preamble, and they're like, it's like, what? He disappeared. He went somewhere when Piccolo was contained the first time 2,000 years ago. And then they leave that a mystery. I mean, for those who were new to it.
It's still a mystery.
And then, yeah, it's like, where did he go in the interim? But just to give those who haven't seen this a little bit of an idea without spoiling too much at the moment, we don't want to. Just a basic overview. It begins with Goku living with his grandfather, Gohan, who is Asian, and Goku is white for some reason. Somewhere along the line, someone could have married someone else. It's not that's. They just never explain it. They never bother to explain.
I mean, they kind of do. They don't ever explain why Goku is white.
Yeah.
But they did explain that Gohan found Goku.
Spoiler.
Am I allowed to?
Wait, is that at the beginning?
No, they explain it later, but like this manga and anime has been out forever.
Oh, yeah.
And it is somewhat consistent with the source material.
Oh, okay.
But yes,
so Gohan found Goku. But just in terms, just looking at the film itself, like if you're coming in fresh with little or no background as I was, like they don't explain in this iteration at least how Goku comes to be living with Gohan. Like, is he actually his grandson? Like, is Gohan also from
definitely adopted
another planet? Is Goku from another planet? That never gets explained or addressed in the film.
Well, he was found in a crater, so it makes
I guess
like
it does. It does get
he
explained.
fell from the sky.
Yeah, but Gohan's origin is not talked about. I don't think.
No, only that Roshi trained Gohan.
Yeah.
So he gets about as much background as he does in the source material. We don't know anything about Grandpa Gohan, basically, except that Roshi trained him. And that, he loves his grandson, which he adopted. Found him in the wilderness. In both the source material and this movie, he found him in a crater. In the source material, that he was in a spaceship, a pod in the crater. But this movie doesn't explain it. And here's another thing. Uzaru, of course, in the source material, Piccolo and Uzaru, the great ape, the Saiyan, are completely separate things.
Yeah, I was going to say, because
they are not connected.
Isn't the episodes you and I watched last week, is that his Uzaru form when Goku, when he transforms, because he looked at
it's a kaiju, and he's just an ugly werewolf thing.
Yeah, because he
slightly larger.
Looked at the moon. Like, was it an eclipse? I'm trying to remember. Or was it just that it was a blood moon? I forget.
In the source material, it's any full moon.
Oh, any full moon.
Any full moon.
So he looks at the full moon and transforms in this giant King Kong-esque form, Uzaru.
And
who still has a tail.
Yes. Goku has a tail in his human and great ape form in the original source material. And in the source material, if you cut off his tail, then or if the sun just comes up, he turns back into his human form. And when his tail is cut off,
right?
his humanoid Saiyan form. When his tail is cut off, he just cannot transform back into the great ape or Uzaru. There was no tail.
Speaking of tails.
And when we replaced the moon with an eclipse, go ahead.
My first note was, it's only PG? Lame. I want some nudity. I want to see that ding-a-ling. No, I don't actually want to see it, but it was, maybe not strangely, but it was definitely absent from this iteration. No Goku ding-a-ling.
Some of us are grateful for this.
Yeah, that thing's just out in the animated series, at least in that first season, man. Like the episodes we watched, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a later season after the tournament at Bobbitty's when Goku is reunited.
Bobbitty's nuts. No. Sorry.
When Goku is reunited with Gohan, the deceased spirit of Gohan brought back to life temporarily for a tournament, which I feel it might, in this film, him dying, being shot by an energy blast, and then coming back, the evolution version of Goku. He saw Grandpa Gohan in the afterlife. That might have been inspired by Goku meeting Gohan during the tournament. But anyway, After that, the Peel-Off gang fights Goku, and they shoot a beam at him. It doesn't hurt him at all, but it just shreds his clothes from his knees up to about his mid-stomach chest, and he's just naked. He's just naked during the rest of the entire fight. And so I'm letting you know that...
Everything's out.
Yeah.
Between his tiny little dick.
I will have to... I have not researched this. Maybe I don't want to know it, but I have questions about Akira Toriyama.
Right? Was it that way in the manga?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just-
I mean, there's
Like,
maybe
are you okay, Akira? Like, what's going on here, man? Like, what is this
Well,
about?
he's unfortunately passed away now, but yeah. It must be some sort of Japanese cultural thing. I don't know. Like little kids running around naked is funny.
I get
Like little boys
I
anyway.
don't know. Although I do think of a scene in Totoro where the father takes a bath with his two kids, and we were watching that. And my wife came in for it. She was like, "What?" Because obviously we don't do that. It's very inappropriate in our culture. But yeah, it's just maybe it wasn't in Japanese culture. I don't know. Like,
I had that experience as a child, and I want you to know you should never do that with your child because they'll remember it decades later and be like, ew.
oh yeah, yeah. No thanks. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Anyway, yes, no dinglings. This is rated PG. The violence is very PG as well. I don't think I saw any blood. I'm trying to remember. There's a lot of punching, good bit of violence, destruction of a car,
Goku acted like Spider-Man.
a lot of
banter.
a lot of key shots, but no
You mean airbending?
airbending. Yeah,
Key shots. The movie isn't even consistent on whether or not it's elemental bending or if it's key energy.
Yeah, I wonder where, because this was prior to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, I mean, well, they definitely took that from Asian religion.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm assuming it has
something.
deeper roots. But yeah, that was inconsistent because it's like you're bending air versus all power comes from within yourself, from your ki.
Yeah, ki can come from the universe, and ki can come from your inner being, ki or chi, however you choose to
Yeah, I was
pronounce
gonna
it.
say, like, I always heard it. Maybe that's just always how I pronounced it, but I always thought it was chi.
It can
I've
be
heard
both.
it said chi in other places, and the subtitles kept spelling it ki. The transliteration
In the English Dragonball, it's ki.
is it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
interesting.
It's definitely not airbending. You'll
no.
never find that in the source material. There is no elemental bending in the source material.
Yeah, and maybe that was one of the many drafts that part of one draft got left in, and the other one.
I guess.
Yeah, and that's not unique in Hollywood.
There was a lot of, I don't know everything, but there was a lot of problems during production of this film.
Oh yeah.
And the script that they used for the final product was not the script that was originally written.
Well, apparently James Wong, at least according to Wikipedia, did the final draft,
Really?
but he chose
Okay.
not to be credited.
I heard it was whoever wrote it didn't want to be credited. Was he the director?
Yes, he was
Yeah,
the director. I mean, he didn't write the first 5 drafts were by
Ben something?
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but he did the first 5 drafts, and then James Wong, based on studio notes, did the final draft, but then went uncredited. I guess because the other guy had done most of the work,
Or because he didn't want
or he didn't want his name attached to it.
that
Maybe,
script.
maybe.
Yeah. And did that Ben guy dirty. I heard that his script, which supposedly you can find online, is somewhat better than the film we got, but although still not great. And he has come out apologizing, saying that he did this for the money and knew nothing about Dragon Ball when he signed up for this. But yeah.
What's in your nerd hat? We want to know. For 4 years, you have been listening to what we pull out of our nerd hats. Whether it's the latest Marvel blockbuster or an indie gem that just hit the festival circuit, we have covered a wide range of nerdy entertainment. If there's something that you've been hoping we would cover, we'd love to hear from you. No, really, we actually want to hear from you. If you head over to our website, that's nerdhat.buzzsprout.com, and go to the fan mail page, you'll see a button titled Send Us a Voicemail. Click on it and follow the on-screen instructions to leave us a message. If you'd like us to include that message in the next episode, let us know. Either way, we'll add your suggestion to the Nerd Hat. If you'd really just prefer to send us a written message, you can drop us a DM on Instagram, follow us at Nerd Hat Productions, or leave a comment on one of our episodes via Spotify or YouTube. All suggestions and voice messages must meet our selection criteria and community guidelines before being published to the podcast. Subject to change.
Well, so in the original series, Goku obviously looks very young. The episodes we watched, he looks like he's like 8 or 8 or 9 or something like that. Little guy. And this one he's supposed to be 17, turns 18 during the film. Was there a period in the original series where he's in high school at all? Does he ever even go to school?
Yes and no. Master Roshi, during the second story arc after the peel-off story arc, they introduce his best friend Krillin, which starts out as a rival. Both Goku and Krillin are trained by Master Roshi, and Master Roshi not only teaches them martial arts, he also teaches them math and different subjects. So this is the only education that Goku has ever received.
From Master Roshi.
And there were jokes about his age changing once he understood how math worked.
It's like, oh, I'm this old.
Yeah. It's confusing how old Goku, to me, it's confusing how old Goku was in the source material. And according to different dubs, I think the original dub that I mentioned earlier before they had to redub it after Dragon Ball Z became popular. I think in that dub, I just remember watching the first episode like on a VHS or something, and the narrator had to explain to the audience why Goku had spiky hair. Oh, he didn't comb his hair after bed. Got out of bed. And it's like, but today, like, nobody questions anime hair.
Yeah, and they made a little bit of a
They
joke.
said he was 5 years old, but he was not 5 years old in the source material. As far as I know, he was at least 10 or something, 12, 14.
Yeah, which in truth, well, I shouldn't say in truth. This version, the Dragon Ball Evolution version, is really old, but doesn't know it.
I looked into that, and I don't know if this is true or not, but some people seem to think that he's not a Saiyan in this movie, but is instead a reincarnation of Uzaru. But it's very confusing because the movie says Uzaru disappeared 2,000 years ago after Piccolo was sealed away.
Yeah.
And then
It's
later...
Like where did he go?
Yeah. Where did he go, and why was he a baby in a crater and then had to grow up to age 18 then become a Zaru again?
Superman. Speaking of Superman.
Yeah.
Smallville reference. Like, yeah, he basically crashes to Earth in a spaceship, a.k.a. Superman.
I'm pretty sure Toriyama was inspired by Superman when he changed Goku's origin in the source material like that.
But then where did he come from? Like, did he come from the planet where the Saiyans come from? Did he get sent
in the source
by
material
his father and his mother as the planet is being destroyed? No.
Yes, that's exactly how it happens.
Really?
In the source material.
Oh,
yes.
he just ripped it straight out.
There are
Superman lore.
Yes.
Dang. Okay.
Bardock.
Plagiarism.
I don't remember the wife's name, but Bardock and his wife, depending on which version of the origin story you're watching or reading, knew that Frieza was about to destroy the planet. In one version, Bardock had dreams about the future that gave it away. I haven't finished watching the Dragon Ball Super Broly film, but I know that they reinvented the origin in that film. But yeah, they knew the planet was going to be destroyed, and they sent Goku to Earth. In some versions in the source material, Goku is sent to Earth to conquer the Earth, and in other versions he's sent to Earth just to be rescued from the destruction of planet Vegeta, the Saiyan planet, because his father Bardock knows that it's about to be destroyed. And he does have an older brother in the source material who dies. Piccolo kills the older brother, but we're not here to talk about that. I think that, note right quick, I think that a reason why he's 17 or 18 in this movie, other than the fact they probably just didn't want a kid running around, I guess they thought that was unbelievable, is that
unbelievable.
There are actually 2 fights between Goku and Piccolo in the source material. In the first one, Goku kills Piccolo after he's more or less taken over the planet. Interesting note, when he kills Piccolo, we do see the Great Ape Uzaru in the background, kind of like it. I don't know what it signifies. Maybe it just signifies Goku has found the inner strength of the Great Ape.
Yeah.
And that might have been what inspired Dragon Ball Evolution's plot twist not the plot twist that he turns out to be Uzaru.
I mean, that is a
but,
twist as
yeah.
far as just the movies.
Yeah, if you didn't know that,
Plot
that'd be
is
a twist.
considered. Like, if you hadn't watched any Dragon Ball coming into this, which I had not watched enough, I think
But he
at
accepts.
some point I
Yeah.
guessed sort of I'm trying to think if I don't ever fully guessed the connection, but he looked different enough from the Uzaru form in the early film. I don't know, but they don't call him Uzaru, did they, in that episode? I don't think.
The anime?
Yeah.
Well,
At least
not in
the episode
English.
that we watched.
In the English, we call it the Great Ape Transformation.
Yeah, so
Uzaru would be the Japanese term.
So I didn't hear that
think.
in the episode we watched. So I don't think I made that connection. But it wasn't a complete surprise that was. But just in terms of the plot itself, though, it is a plot twist. Like you don't know that he is Ozaru.
So I was just gonna say in the anime, the manga, when Goku, the shape of the great ape is Ozaru is the face is behind Goku as he's about to give the finishing blow to Piccolo, Demon King Piccolo, might have been what inspired this film's climax, in which Goku accepts both halves of himself and seems to gain the Uzaru strength in his human form.
And it's foreshadowed by something Gohan tells him earlier, and it's a bit cryptic. He doesn't fully understand it. It's like you must embrace your enemy and yourself, or something like that.
You must trust in who you are.
That too, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But there was also something about coming to be one with his enemy or something too.
I just remember Gohan saying, "The first rule is there are no rules."
Yeah, first rule is there are no rules.
There are no rules.
And then Goku quotes it again.
And
Or
then
quotes Gohan later.
I cringed.
Yeah, that was a little lame. So, what do you think of the casting for this film?
Yamcha.
And who should have been
Yeah.
cast in their place if you
I
didn't
don't
like
know. Well, I think that Chi-Chi was fine. This version of Chi-Chi is actually better than the source material Chi-Chi.
it? Yeah.
Well, they did Chi-Chi dirty. Well, Toriyama did Chi-Chi dirty. And sorry, dear departed Toriyama, I have opinions.
Well, I saw some image stills. What might have just been in one of the thumbnails where she showed this little girl just a little bit bigger than Goku in a bikini, and I'm like, what the? Why?
Well, what I was trying to get
Made about as much sense as Goku being naked half the time.
Well, the Ox King, Chi-Chi's father, and her lived in a castle, but the castle was set on fire with this eternal flame that couldn't be put out, and they became homeless. And they were pretty much barbarian biker warriors running around the countryside.
Still doesn't explain the bikini.
I
That's all
don't
she had
know.
left, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know. It's some sort of bikini fantasy armor. I have no idea. But later, and I was going to say this earlier, but I got sidetracked. The second time Goku fights Piccolo, it's actually Piccolo's son, Ma Jr. See, in Evolution, in the mid-credit scene, we see Piccolo survive, but in the source material, he does not survive. Instead, he shoots out an egg. Yeah. In the source material, he makes those monsters and his son by spitting out eggs from his mouth. But in the Evolution movie, they use his blood to bring them to life, I guess.
Yeah.
So he shoots out an egg from his mouth as his last action before he succumbs to death from Goku's final blow. And then that Ma Jr., Evil Jr., Piccolo Jr., whatever you want to call him, he rapidly
PJ.
grows up. PJ. Yeah, PJ. I'm going to call
PJ.
Piccolo PJ now. So Piccolo, he grows up and he is a tall but much younger version of his father by the time the world tournament begins. And by this time, Goku is a teenager. And that might be why they went ahead and made him a teenager in this. Also for sequel movies that never happened. So Chi-Chi and Goku are both teenagers. The second time they fight Piccolo, technically Piccolo Jr., you didn't see this version of Chi-Chi, but she's closer to the Chi-Chi in the film. In my opinion, Chi-Chi was done dirty in the source material. Sorry, Toriyama, because she's just a stereotypical mad, hot-headed woman. And then after Goku and Chi-Chi get married, it's just more of the same. She's just an angry wife. I think Dragon Ball Super tones her down a little bit, but she's just an angry wife, and Goku's just an absent dad in the source material. And we fans like to pick on Goku for being an absent dad, but yeah.
Well, I remember when we covered some Dragon Ball Z episodes back in our first or second season. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
At least one or two of the episodes, Goku was much older. I think all the ones we watched, Goku was older, and I think already had a family, and at least one of them. So I'm assuming that was Chi-Chi.
Oh, the wife? Yeah, that was Chi-Chi.
Okay. But yeah, I thought...
no longer wearing a armor bikini.
There was a little bit of chemistry with the actors in this one, but not a lot.
Goku and Chi-Chi?
Yeah, but I have to say I'm not... With the exception of maybe, like, he finally comes into his own a little bit, which I guess the character is supposed to be as well. Like, I did kind of like the actor at the end, like the final battle with Piccolo, and he, like, starts to embrace his Uzaru form and comes into his power. I was finally like, that's a little better, like, but for much of the film, and I'm sure this wasn't just his fault. This usually also, it can be with editing, writing, directing, the whole thing all together, because sometimes an actor does the best they can with the lines, but then it's just, there can be so many causes, but yeah, he came off pretty stiff, I thought, through a good bit of the film. I don't know how you felt about the guy who played Goku.
I don't want to blame the actor because he was given a script that was bad.
Yeah, and I've seen him in some other things, and he did pretty good. I thought he was in War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Played his son.
Okay.
And he was in Shameless, the TV series.
Right, and the actress that plays Bulma starred opposite of him, and they had chemistry in that series.
Yeah. They were...
I have not seen it.
They were a couple, I think, for a while. I've seen a few episodes of it, and yeah, they were a couple, I think, for a good bit of the series, or at least for a couple of seasons anyway. So yeah, so I've seen him in some other things where his performance was better, so, he probably did, as much as he could with the material he's given.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the fight choreography and the wire work?
It was very American. It was very early 2000s, 9-ish, whatever, late 2000s. See, that's the weird thing. We're going to be in the 2000s until the year 3000, and it confuses my brain. But I guess when they say the 2000s, they made from 2000 to 2010, right? So anyway, it was just...
So that didn't feel Asian to you, or, I mean, Asian influenced, obviously, because you like jumping up through the air and like, I'm thinking of things like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and like martial arts films.
I thought it might have been an Americanized version of that.
This film is Americanized, really.
If you want true Asian martial arts choreography brought to a fantastic level, I would recommend Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins. I actually thought that film had better action in it.
That's funny.
And more impressive martial arts scenes. I did like the scene in Dragon Ball Evolution in which Goku dodges all the bullies at Chi-Chi's castle. She still has a castle, apparently, in
that was
this universe.
Oh, yeah, right?
She's not homeless. She lives in the castle, so good for her. And her dad, I guess they're doing very well in this universe.
I guess so. Either that or someone else was hosting the party.
Well, she said it was her house. But
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, she's rich in this universe, I guess.
Yeah, she was technically rich in the source material, except they couldn't get to their riches, so they were technically very poor.
Okay. In this one, they're like, well, we're just going to let her have access to her money. So
yeah.
So what do you think of Bulma in this one compared to?
Well, she's not Bulma, but I don't completely hate this version of the character. I do like... See, in the original source material, her desire to get the Dragon Balls is because she wants a boyfriend, and she's going to...
Yeah, right.
And I have no idea why she just can't get a boyfriend. What is, like, everybody's afraid of her. She can't ask anyone out. There's just no one in her class she likes. I have no idea. Why can't you just ask? You built a Dragon radar. Is it because people think you're a nerd? Are people intimidated by the fact that you're basically a royalty because you're the daughter of this famous scientist that created all the dino caps?
They're too intimidated.
Yeah. it's never explained why.
Yeah, it's like I
Bulma
must find
can't
all
get
the
a
Dragon
girlfriend.
Balls so that I
I mean,
can
a boyfriend.
so that I can get a boyfriend. It's kind of
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is kind of lame actually.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Although it's played for humor a bit
Yeah.
because then Yamcha comes into the picture and he's just longing for a girlfriend, but he's afraid of women, right?
yeah, and of course, both of those motivations are completely absent from this film, which
Yeah.
I'm not entirely against that.
Not to mention Yamcha's little sidekick.
Yeah,
Mm,
Puar
so-
is not in it. I wrote in my notes that they at least could have just had a random cat with
Right.
him. He's just a
Yeah.
cat. He doesn't have to talk or nothing. It's just a cat. He calls it Puar.
Yeah, maybe they could have thrown a pig in there too.
Yeah, thought about that. Just a
Not
reference.
a walking, talking pig, but just a pig.
Yeah, just
maybe
a
for
pig.
fun.
Or they could have made Oolong one of the school bullies. They just had
Oh,
just
yeah.
make him fat, or wears a cap or something.
I mean, he
like
wasn't fat in the series.
Well,
He
he's a
wasn't-
pig.
He's a pig, but
But yeah, he wasn't that fat. Or they could have. I mean, the episode introduces Oolong. He is a bully, kidnapping girls to make it because he wants lots of wives, and he eventually gets beat up by Goku, and he gives all the girls back to the village because honestly, they're just cost too much money, and they keep bossing him around, giving him honey-do lists. Which it's fun, it's comedy in the source material. But yeah, they could have made Oolong a bully at school.
according to Wikipedia, and I don't know how much you read about this or heard about this, but like there were definitely some complaints back at the time about them whitewashing some of the characters. Kind of 50-50 because like some of the main characters are not Asian at all,
Right.
you know, but then some of the other ones are, you know, you have Chow Yun-fat who plays Roshi, and then obviously Gohan is played by an Asian man.
I
or a
agree
man of
keeping them
descent.
Asian.
And Mai, obviously, Piccolo, it doesn't really matter, and it's a guy in makeup anyway. The actor is not Asian.
Yeah.
But
I heard that actor fought the producers to keep Piccolo green because they were just going to make him a handsome gray alien.
gray.
Yeah, they wanted him to be painted gray instead of green. I don't know why.
Huh.
But yeah, you were saying?
Isn't a lot of anime, maybe this is controversial, but isn't a lot of anime kind of half whitewashed anyway? Because I've always got this, like, there's a lot of anime I've seen where the characters look very American. I don't know if they're supposed to be Japanese, but like they look very white in a lot of, and I know obviously
Yeah.
a lot of Japanese people are very light skinned, but more of like their face structure and even down to how they behave sometimes.
It's an art style,
Yeah.
so it can be hard to tell sometimes in a manga or anime if they're supposed to be Asian or Caucasian, but you can usually tell by context.
Right.
Are they living in Japan? I mean, let's just put it this way. Sailor Moon, who I call Serenity, but her name is actually Usagi. She has blonde hair, pigtails. You would think she's Caucasian, but whenever they do depict her in live action, she's Asian.
Yeah.
And so the artistic liberty of giving
It's a little ambiguous.
anime characters different hair colors other than black. Yeah, I mean, it gives a lot of variety, but then it makes you think, well, this ginger character must be a Caucasian, or this blonde
Yeah.
must be Caucasian, when they're not.
And to me, it's like also
And when you watch
Some-
Sailor Moon,
some
you
of the
know she
skin-
lives in Japan.
some of the
Go ahead.
skin tone, but also facial features too. Like
Yeah.
they look less Asian.
So what I'm
and
trying to
more-
say is you need to pick up context. Like in the Gundam Wing anime, you know that, I forget his name, but he piloted the Angel of Death Gundam. One of my favorite characters at the time. You know he's Caucasian because they say he's from America, or at least we assume he's Caucasian because he comes from America. And there are different characters that seem very much not to be Asian, but then Hiro, Hiro, that's his name. Maybe the most main protagonist, he's definitely Asian. He's definitely Japanese. And they draw his eyes, if I remember correctly, to look that way. But yeah, I think that context is the best way to figure out.
I'm assuming that the choices, as is often the case when movies come over to the U.S., they make changes like that because they want American audiences to identify with the main
Yeah.
characters, or at least some of the main characters. Although I thought, given that, it was an interesting choice that they released this in Japan and other Asian countries first before releasing it
Okay.
in America, which is kind of, it's like interesting. Okay, you decided to change 3 of the main characters and make them white, but now you're releasing it in Asia first.
Yeah, Akira Toriyama might be cited in the credits as a producer or something on this, but he was not on there for, I don't know, just to make it seem like he contributed. He tried contributing. He read the script. He said, this script, it's no good. This will bomb. It's not correct. This is not Dragon Ball, but they refused to listen to him. And at the time, he was a little nicer when the movie came out, but later, see, Dragon Ball Evolution, what contribution it gave us is it made the series continue. We got 2 movies, Battle of the Gods and Return of F or something. I can't remember. The one where Frieza comes back. And then those turned into the Dragon Ball Super anime and manga. And then Toru Taro, the longtime fan artist that did Dragon Ball fan comics, was actually named by Akira Toriyama as his successor and was drawing Dragon Ball Super manga as the anime was being broadcast. What I'm saying is that if anything, Dragon Ball Evolution saved the franchise. Even though it was a terrible film, it ticked Akira Toriyama off. And at the time, he was nice about it. But years later, when Battle of the Gods came out, interviews around that time revealed that he didn't like this movie.
No surprise.
Yeah, it put fire in him to come out of retirement to save his legacy.
Nice. So it's the reason we got more Dragon Ball. All right, so we got just a few minutes left. We don't want to go too long with this review here.
There's so much we could talk about. We just don't have the time for it.
I will say, overall, now some of this is because I've watched the episodes with you last week and I've seen enough Dragon Ball. Seeing this film did make me want to explore the lore a little bit more. Not just to see like where does it diverge and where did it, but it interested me enough. I was like, oh, it's not a great movie by any means, but I kind of enjoyed myself.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Overall, like,
well,
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. You know, I didn't, again, not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm really glad the source material that you didn't fully watch didn't cause you to be like, this movie sucks.
Well, I mean, you know, in fairness, the source material, it's not like it's, I don't know how to put it. I can see where that's an acquired taste as well. Like, it's not uber serious. And I don't know if he geared it. Did he mean to gear it towards kids when he first put it out? Or was it geared more towards older? Or was it kind of like a just whatever?
Our cultures are different, so I can't entirely say. I think if I remember correctly, it was geared towards teenagers.
Oh, okay.
But in the first story arc, the Emperor Pilaf arc, in those days, it was a gag comic, an adventure fantasy gag comic, but switched to more of a fighting comic in the second storyline, where there's training.
Gets into like Piccolo's storyline.
No. Well, actually, in the original series, Piccolo takes a long time to get to.
Okay.
So in the second story, Master Roshi trains Krillin and Goku, and then it culminates in their first entry into the World Martial Arts Tournament. The book was selling better when they focused on action, when Toriyama focused on action, so the editor told him he had to change it. Toriyama wanted it to be a fantasy comedy. The editors gave him all sorts of directions, and he did obey it for the most part. What he didn't obey is they told him absolutely do not age up Goku, and he did.
Yeah.
And they had to publish it because Akira Toriyama purposely sent them the story where he fights Piccolo the second time, specifically sent on purpose that those pages in at the last second so they could not ask him to redraw them. I can talk about Dragon Ball all day.
Yeah.
We need to get back to topic.
So
topic.
Ratings, I guess, like this go round, at this point in your life, how many nerd hats would you give Dragon Ball Evolution?
I don't know, a 2 out of 5 maybe.
Okay.
Maybe a 1. But you see, Super Mario Brothers live action movie is so bad it's good. Slaughterhouse really isn't in the same genre, but it's good. It's like purposely campy bad good. But this movie, I feel like it's just bad. It's just so bad it's bad. So yeah,
I think I'd give it a little bit higher, maybe 2.5.
Okay.
But
I
I
don't
think,
believe in halves, Richard.
but I
It's
think,
confusing.
I think part of the reason
round.
that it's easier for me to rate a little higher is simply because I'm not as familiar with Dragon Ball. I
Yeah.
feel like if I had been a big fan of Dragon Ball, I would probably dislike it more. Similar to how, even though I love the Lord of the Rings movies, still to this day, I hate what they did with Faramir's character because he was one of my favorite characters from the book. I really liked his character, and then they just ruined certain aspects of his character in the films. Still mad about that, Peter Jackson. Love everything else you did. So much of it was near perfect. That was not. But yeah, I think it's kind of in that like I enjoyed myself, but it's forgettable. You know,
Yes, it feels like a children's movie. The source material had much sharper, more intelligent writing and the dialogue and everything. I mean, I love talking about it, but our episode is getting pretty long, so I need to stop.
The Nerd Hat podcast was crafted without the assistance of generative AI. Was recorded, produced, and edited by Richard Best. Copyright Nerd Hat Productions 2026. You can follow us on Instagram at Nerd Hat Productions, on YouTube at Nerd Hat Pod, and of course on all of the major podcasting platforms like Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, and more. Well, Nerdhatters, until next time, live long and prosper.